We are just doing some meet and greet session before we start the session, right? This is just a
Yeah,
meet and
sure.
greet. Okay, so
Yeah,
thank you,
sure.
Sister Anshul.
Thank you.
So my name is Mohammed Faisal. I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. Uh, I've been working in basically as a CISO, as a CIO, as a CTO for the past 10 years. In the industry, I've been working, I started my career back in 2000 uh, as a penetration tester. Penetration testing means ethical hacking, right? This was basically back in UK. When I got married, I moved to US. I worked over there. Prior to moving to US, I was working in UK for 10 years, and then I worked in US until my wife completed her medicine residency because she became a doctor in US, and then she was going through the residency program. Then she did her fellowship, so on and so forth. And then we moved to Canada because of various reasons. We just wanted to have some family time and a couple of other reasons as well. So I moved over here. Um, in Canada, I've also worked as a CISO, as a CIO, as a CTO, even in the States as well. In UK, my last position was working as a director, right? The whole idea is that I'm just giving you an idea at the background. I went to MIT, went to Stanford, right now, went to London Metropolitan University. Right now, I'm basically, I've written three, I've applied in three programs for the PhD, Oxford, Cambridge, and one of the universities in Scotland. I've been accepted. So I'll be starting my program soon for the PhD as well, right? So the idea for me was that when I came over here, like in the West, I used to see people of color. When I say people of color, that means not Caucasians, but other people, right? Just all of here sitting over here, I'm assuming are people of color, right? Because of the names I see, right? So on and so forth. So one of the biggest drawbacks I saw was just like, you know, the people of color who are coming from Africa, who are coming from Asia, from South Asia, from Asia Pacific, so on and so forth. They're highly educated, right? They do their bachelor's, they do their master's. Yes, there are some potential problems with the academic standing, whatever the case is, but still, when they came over here, they were struggling. They were struggling uh, either in UK, either in US, or in Canada as well, right? And one of the key reasons is that they don't know exactly, what kind of skills are required in the job market. Unfortunately, what is being taught back back over there, like in the West, in our own countries, right? Uh, that education doesn't suffice or doesn't make us ready to contribute within the Western society. So there was a big dichotomy. There was a big gap. So I always wanted to start a program where I can focus on that area, and I established, back in 2008. Just give me 1 minute, please.
So from Muscat, Zainab is here, who is from Muscat.
Sorry, I just wanted to grab my cup of tea, right? Because possibly in the next 1 or 2 days we will be fasting. So this is the last cup of tea that we will be having before our fasting month begins. So one of the key things that I saw was that the universities, they prepare students, but they don't prepare them, they don't equip them with the skill set which is required over here in the West. So when I was sitting in Stanford back in 2008, I was thinking, why is this the case? And at that time, Stanford University was starting up their portal known as Coursera, right? And they were planning to start offering university education back over to the populace, right? Whoever can speak English, they can do that. My goal was like, I was thinking that, I wanted to teach people in their own native languages. So we selected the languages which are predominantly spoken in South Asian and African countries, right? So that was my focus. So I picked up those languages because, to be honest, we have people from all over the place, all over the world. For those whose first language is English, they can easily study wherever they want, right? It's easier for them. They have more opportunities. They have more, you know, more resources at their disposal. However, people from Pakistan, from India, from Bangladesh, from Middle Eastern countries where they speak Arabic, or the predominant language in the African is Swahili, and a couple of other places. They don't have those opportunities, right? Uh, for them, there's a language barrier. They first have to learn English, complete that ladder, and then be able to basically go ahead and learn uh, the new technologies. So I'm going to skip the presentation that we normally present, right? What I'm going to tell you is, and then you can do the research and all those kind of things. Um, the World Economic Forum, which is the authority when it comes to doing research within the world, what is available, what is accepted, what is in demand, right? There was a report 2 years ago that came out, and every 1 year, 2 years they release new reports, right? Research reports. So if I quote the 2018 and the 2020 report, there's a big disconnect between it, and I will show you the spike as well because of the COVID-19 as well. Is that nowadays there is more emphasis on skills like, and these are the skills that we're teaching, like, do you know data science? Do you know artificial intelligence? Do you know cybersecurity? Do you know digital forensics? Do you know compliance? Do you know security, governance, and compliance? The GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. Do you know IT audits? These are these are the kind of areas like DevOps, system ops, so on and so forth. These are the kind of areas we are focused on right now. So I established an institute with $1 million funding for myself, and I picked up a friend of mine who was teaching at Oxford University. I picked up another friend of mine, who was working in Verizon, and my last position was working as a CISO in a telco company, in a telecommunication company in Canada. And I always wanted to do something for the community. So this is how we established Nafi. Nafi is one of the names of Allah. As a Muslim, there was a lot of inspiration from Islam as well. There's a lot of inspiration from other things as well. But the whole focus was that Islam started with the first ayah, Iqra bi ismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read in the name of your Lord, right? The one who has created everything. So there's a lot of emphasis on reading and writing in Islam, and on research and development and so on and so forth, right? Uh, so this is how the golden age of the Muslims started to begin, where we did advancement in physics and chemistry and algebra and all the physical sciences and material sciences. So my passion was to revive those things and bring back all the educational elements, where there was a time that in Cordoba, or like even in in Morocco and a couple of other places in Middle East, the first university was developed by Fatima al Farisi, something like that. I can't remember the exact name. She was the woman who created the first university, where Ibn Khaldun and many Western philosophers used to come and study. So I always wanted to create a platform where people from all denominations within society can come and study, right? So that's how we started Nafi. Our emphasis is on all the courses. Like, for example, if you go online, if you go to indeed.ca, right? And I'm going to show some demonstrations here. You type in cybersecurity, you type in data science, you type in AI, right? So all those skill sets that they're asking for, that's a skill set that we're teaching. So there are people from Stanford University, like Dr. Asad Zaman, he's teaching basically, Islamic finance, economics, monetary finance theory, and a couple of other various things. There is Dr. Saliha. She got the basically like a big grant from Facebook in AI research. She is developing courses in artificial intelligence. There is Dr. Junaid Kader. He got a lot of grant from basically Google and Facebook and Amazon in AI. So he's teaching AI and ethics and a couple of other courses. There is Dr. Oves. Dr. Oves, he teaches emerging mathematics, which is like calculus, algebra, in the most easiest form so that you can understand mathematics as well, right? There is Dr. Zishan, one of the premier person, I would say, in data science and AI in the world. He's teaching on our platform. There is Dr. Sana. There's a lot of doctors, right? None of them are medical doctors, by the way, but they hail from all the top universities in the world, but they're not medical doctors per se. I'm becoming myself a doctor, but not a medical doctor. My wife is a medical doctor over here. But regardless of that, what we're doing is that we are trying to provide these courses which makes a person job ready like within 6 to 9 months. That is the whole goal, right? These courses are available in Urdu, which is like Hindi and Urdu is pretty similar. They're available in Arabic. They're available in French. Or 3 major courses are available in French if you speak French. They are available in Pashto, in Gujarati. They are available in a couple of other languages as well. English is something which will be coming soon in the next 3 to 6 months. All the courses will be available in English as well, right? Again, our whole idea was to focus on the key demographic, which is, the people of color, because again, as I said, there's a lot of resources available for the Europeans or for those whose first language is English. But out of the 8 billion people in the world, hardly 1.2 billion people speak English as their level 1 language. The remaining people speak different languages. Yes, they might be speaking English at level 2 or level 3, right? But their primary tongue is different. So our goal is to make sure that we provide them, like in China, if you go there, no one speaks English, but they are advancing in data science, in AI, in cybersecurity, at the level that Asta Baldwin, who sits with us in Nafi, she is one of the basically Intel. Basically, she's one of the Intel director in artificial intelligence and managing the Asia Pacific region. And she said, like, she told me, like, Mohammed, like in China, people, they don't know how to speak English, but they're excellent programmers, they're excellent mathematicians, and they're excellent when it comes to uh, programming in Python or working in Linux and all the open source technologies. The reason is their government is teaching all of these people in their native tongues, right? That's the secret of success for these people. Now, for us, those people who are living in the West, yes, they can speak English, no worries about that. However, if a person whose mother tongue is not English as the first medium, right, then what happens is that if I'm going to try to explain to him something in English, it might take him some time to translate and change his posture and his mental capabilities to translate and transcribe and digest the given concept. But if I teach them something in their own local language, then they will have the confidence to say, yes, I understand this. And they will will be able to communicate, not 100%, but at least 60, 70% to convey that message and say, yes, I understand the requirements and I can code these requirements and I can do this and I can do that. The World Economic Forum says back in 2018 that in 2022, there will be 600 million jobs in cybersecurity, in digital forensics, because the online crime is increasing tenfold. The industry of the cybersecurity industry is a $6 trillion industry. Like, I'm not saying that, it's the Canadian. I have all the slides and everything, but I'm not going to talk about that today. But this is just like a meet and greet session and some Q&A that you can ask questions from me and I can give you the answers, so on and so forth, right? So this was back in 2018 that they said, like the World Economic Forum said, that globally in the world, there are more jobs in data science, or more jobs will be created in data science, around 600 million. In cybersecurity, in digital forensics, in SCADA, in industrial cybersecurity, in machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, so on and so forth. There's a whole list. As I said, we have the presentations and everything available that will be given to you on the portal, so on and so forth, right? So, but in 2020, after COVID-19, they said, actually the 600 million is going to convert to 1 billion jobs globally, because now everyone is working from home, right? The cybersecurity threat has increased tenfold, right? More automation is required, more programmers are required, so on and so forth. So those requirements have quadrupled, and the resource consumption is also quadrupled. So the digital footprint is increasing tenfold, right? So on and so forth. So now there are more opportunities for you guys to work from home. Like you guys can do bug bounty or hunting. You guys can become hackers and do legitimate work on HackerOne platform or BugCrowd platform, and try to find bounties like on a given operating system or an application. And we will teach you step by step how to do that, and you can easily earn $1,000 to $2,000 US dollars by sitting at home, right? So this is a huge gig economy. It's actually bigger than Uber and DoorDash and all those kind of things, right? Because this is much, much bigger, much, so on and so forth. But to play a part in that, you need to go through some of the key courses. Like, for example, if you're in Canada, you can work at banks, at financial institutes, if you pass your CISSP exam, Certified Information System Security Professional. Again, all of this information is given to you in the portal. We provide you everything. We tell you what to do, how to do, what to follow, what to study, give you practical examples, derived from daily lives and stuff like that, so that you can comprehend and understand and digest all of those things. So that's what we do. This is how we teach. Our success stories are that there are people right now around the world who are teaching, who are learning with us, and our students are working at BMW, at Audi, at Mercedes now recently, basically Abbott, Pfizer, and a couple of like Boeing. And then these are the notable names that I'm going to tell you. And there's Affinity, which is an artificial intelligence company, Intel, Microsoft, and a couple of other companies. So these are the students who predominantly hail from, from the Asian countries and African countries. And they were able to study with us, learn all the concepts, pass all the exams, external exams, not with us, but externally, right? And then they were able to go outside and work. And one of the key things that we tell everyone is that, like, these courses, like, for example, if you want to go and study at University of Toronto, cybersecurity, they charge $25,000 to $30,000, teaching you a couple of things over 12 months time, 12 weeks of time, right? So it's like around 4 months, time frame, 3 to 4 months time frame that they cover all the courses and stuff like that. We teach you that course along with many other courses that are applicable to jobs. They're only teaching that one course, but we're teaching you that along with all the things you need to know to be able to apply for a job and be job ready within Canada or within the US. So that's what we do, this is the reason we established Nafi. Nafi is one of the names of Allah, which means like the one who benefits everyone, right? So this is the concept that we establish on Nafi, our platform. And as I said, like, education is a universal right for everyone, and and it should be accessible and basically available to everyone within their own resources, so that they don't have to go through learning English first, like make English as their first language, just like me. No, that's not necessary, right? The key thing is just like, you can learn all the things that you want to do and have the hands-on experience with us going through all the labs and everything, and be job ready. Either you want to work online independently, doing bug bounty hunting, stuff like that, or you want to become a data scientist doing web scraping, data wrangling, data visualization, all those kind of things, or you want to work in an organization. You can do all of these things, but you have to go and spend time, at least 1 to 2 hours a day, studying. There are no shortcuts. I'm not going to tell you that if you do this, you'll be able to pass and you'll be able to secure a job. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say if you work, if you study, 1 hour minimum a day for the next 6 to 9 months, surely you'll be able to secure a job after that, right? Uh, again, I'm going to draw Islamic principles. In Islam, this is our faith. This is what we follow. We have a belief that, sustenance, risk in Arabic, sustenance means like, our livelihood, whatever we earn, whatever we do, is given to you by God, by Allah, right? You cannot invent things up. You can work hard, but then leave everything to Him, and then He will reward it to you. Some people are rewarded early. Some people are rewarded, and those who are patient, they are certainly rewarded. That's the promise. So again, I'm going to emphasize on that. So my promise to you is that if you study and if you do all of those things, I can personally help you in developing the resume. I can personally guide you in preparing you for the interviews, as I've done for many of my students, and I do that, and it will be recorded and then it will be posted online so that other students can benefit as well, right? So, like for example, I help assist students develop their resumes. I do that, depending on the cases and whatever the cases, because normally we do say, these are the templates, you copy that, what you have learned, this is how you make up your resume, XYZ, etc., etc. But then we also say, if you get a job interview by posting your resume, call us. We will help you how to answer this question. What question they may ask you, what lab they may ask you to do, what kind of code or commands they might ask you to run, so on and so forth, right? So those things will help you in securing your first job. Now, if you pass your CISSP exam, like just today, another of my students passed it, like thousands of students have already passed these exams and they're working. And I've been doing this, this community service since 2002, I would say, back in London, when I used to go outside and, I used to be in the community, involved in the, in the community. So there used to be people coming from all denominations, right? And I used to, and like they were all worried, like, what should we do? We're doing this, we're doing that. I want to do something like this. I want to do something like that. So you went to all the top universities. How can we do this? How can we do that? And I used to guide them. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. If you do this, you will be successful. And people have been following that, and alhamdulillah, they have been successful, right? So this is a high-level presentation, like a talk given to you. The remainder of the things, I would say, do research, right? Like, for example, you guys are based where? Like in Calgary, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, everyone is in Calgary.
Right, so if I say indeed.com, .ca, this is one of the job portals. And then the other one is, Monster, .ca. So these are the, one of the biggest job portals available. And you type in cybersecurity, right? Right? And then you will see all the jobs popping up. These are some of the examples I can give you. Now, this session is being recorded. You can use this. And if you have any questions, I will provide you a copy of it, right? And if you have any questions, we can certainly do that. Right now, if I just type in cybersecurity, there are more than 2,264 jobs available. As a cybersecurity analyst, temporarily remote. Nowadays, everything is remote, by the way, because of the COVID-19, right? Summer student specialization, information security, Bell Canada. This is one of the things that Tafsir, brother Tafsir, son is working at Bell, right? Tafsir, right?
Yes, yes.
So he's doing his internship over there. There's Fidelity. There's all of these companies. Now, if I go in one of these jobs, like MDA is basically one of the companies which develops systems for NASA, right? This is what they like: monitor computer networks for security events and threats. We train you for that. Investigate security breaches and other security incidents. What we're teaching you is what is being required by the industry right now. So we are providing you all of this training, all of these trainings right now, on our platform. So that's just one example. I wanted to give it to you, right? But then again, You have to work hard. Again, I'm going to tell you and emphasize on this. Please put this on the mic, on the mute, please. There are no shortcuts. If anyone is telling you that you do this and you will become a millionaire or or something like that, that's totally false. I'm not going to promise any of those things. If you work hard, if you put your your blood and sweat into it, certainly you will go through it and you will get the jobs, because we will prepare you. You have to do online labs. You have to go through the systems. You have to go through the hacking process. Like at least have to do 100 labs. After doing those 100 labs, you'll become a bug bounty hunter, and you can go to HackerOne. Like the minimum that on a HackerOne platform or a bug crowd, and even we are developing our own bug bounty platform, where like applications from around the world are hosted from July onwards, 31st of July onwards, and people will be able to test it out. You can easily earn as I said, $1,500 to $2,000 US dollars per month by just doing some research. Find something in Twitter, find something on Facebook, how you can hack into the platform. And we negotiate the pricing and we tell you this is what it is. We keep 10%, we give you 90%. This is what we do, so that we can service the platform and all those kinds of things, right? So that's what we do. That's what we teach people, so that they can become, because there are more than 50 billion targets. Because of the Internet of Things, the IoT, because of the digitization, and actually the 50 billion is an old number I'm quoting you. Right now, because of everyone working from home, there are more devices connected on the internet. Even our kids are studying from online as well. Everyone is working online. So think about the amount of data which is passing through these telco networks. The data footprint is quadrupling every minute, actually, right? And it is becoming unsustainable for these companies. And there is so much information to be analyzed, right? So if you become a data scientist, if you don't know mathematics, we teach you mathematics in English, right? Or in Urdu. Like right now, it's only available in English and Urdu, right? But it is being recorded and dubbed in French and a couple of other languages. But what I'm emphasizing on is, like, we will give you all the skills you need. As Steve Jobs used to say, I don't hire, degree valedictorian guys. No, I like people who have the skills to prove it to me that they can code. I'm going to end this talk with one final thing, and then I'm going to ask, and then I'm going to, take questions from you guys. The World Economic Forum, they do assessment. And what they do is they estimate and then they calculate how many people in a given country can read, write. So they do this in English, they do science, maths, a couple of other key subjects, right? STEM subjects, as we call it, science, technology, engineering, and math subjects. They do that. But they have recently added a new criteria to it, which is basically, how many people know how to code? Now, coding is very easy. It's not something that you say, oh, how can I code? If you know plus, minus, multiply, divide, you can code. That's how we teach it. It's so easy, right? So this is what we're doing. And the World Economic Forum is saying, if a country doesn't know how to code their general population, in the next 5 years, it will be extremely difficult for them to survive. So the way that you speak or the way that you communicate, it's important for you to know how to code. This is one of the reasons that the Chinese are very far ahead, right? So, but as I said, there are jobs available in the market. There are thousands and thousands of jobs available in the market, in cybersecurity, in CSSP, in data science. All these key points I'm telling you, go back and just use these two data, just use these two job sites. These are predominant top 1 sites. There's Glassdoor as well. And you can use these 3 sites, type in these key numbers, key definitions or key words, and use cybersecurity, CISSP, digital forensics, PCI DSS, ISO 27001, data science, machine learning, data analyst, AI, artificial intelligence, and you will see jobs and jobs and jobs. And what they're saying is, if you know this, come to and work with us. So you don't need a degree, because in Canada, in North America alone, and I'm going to quote again 2019 data, 2020 data is still being compiled. Normally it takes them some time to recompile because of the COVID-19, the whole 2020 numbers are all messed up as well, right? In 2019, but we do know that year over year, like this number keeps on growing big. Just in cybersecurity alone, in North America, when I say North America, it's US and Canada combined, there are more than 4 million jobs in cybersecurity. I'm not talking about the gig economy, which is penetration testing. No, I'm talking about just the cybersecurity jobs available at banks and financial institutes and all the organizations, from medium to large organizations, even smaller ones. You need, people to teach you how to secure your data, because everything now resides on data, right? Online, in the cloud, or on the systems, or whatever the case is. So that's what we do. This is what we teach. Again, as I said, it's taught in the easiest manner possible. It is taught with local examples so that you can understand what happens in the corporate sector, how things are really done, so on and so forth. Yes, we started this project with the inspiration of teaching, basically, the 2 billion people who live, and breathe within South Asia and Africa. That is our core audience, right? In the Eastern and the Western Africa region, in the Middle East, and in the Asia, basically. But now our students are hailing from more than 142 countries. So 142 countries are these people are coming from all over the world to connect with us, because we teach, as I said, we teach courses in Spanish, like they are dubbed in Spanish, French, Gujarati, Urdu, Hindi. Some of them are available in English now. They are being dubbed through Bengali as well, and many other languages, right? So that's what we do. For this 2021, we have Turkish and a couple of other languages, on the radar for us. We are going to automate this whole dubbing process because it takes a lot of time. So we looked into a Google Wave and Amazon service, and what it does is basically that, if we provide the transcript to the system, their Wave service, as the Google Wave service as it's called, and from Amazon it's Alexa, and this Wave service, the voice service, it can record everything for us with a human tone voice, not a monotone voice, but like a very, gentle, with proper rhythms up and going down the voice and so on and so forth, all the patterns, in a very, faster manner for us. And we will be able to present our lectures in more multiple languages around the world. That's what makes us unique. That's one thing. Massive, basically approach, massive reach that we have. The other thing is just like the content that we teach is coming from the top universities, but it is not based on academia. It is based on hands-on, which is the need of the time, which is required by the employers. So I'm not going to teach you something, something which is not used by the organizations right now. No, I'm going to teach you something which is the organizations are asking for it right now and will be asking for the next 5 years. So we keep on doing R&D. Every 6 months we add, we add topics to R&D. Just in the next 1 week, I will be closing all the R&D projects for 2021 because we have so many, and we will do research. What is going to be feasible for people to learn right now in the next 2-3 years, right? And if the next year in 2022, something new comes up, like quantum computing is coming, we say, okay, quantum computing is coming, and we need to teach that. So we are much more agile. If you go to a university, they will keep on teaching, because like the universities, think of it like just like the boat that was stuck in the Suez Canal, the Ever Given, it was stuck. They can't move it because you need a lot of tugboats to move around. For us, we are just a tugboat, right? We can move around here and there. We are very agile. Whatever is required, we go in. Because normally the industry, the biggest dichotomy between the university and the industry is just like, the industry moves very fast. New tools are coming in, new processes are coming in, new standards are coming in. The universities are still teaching something which is 10 years past, right? So that's the biggest difference that we do. And again, as I said, multiple languages, so on and so forth. So now that's a high level overview, a personal overview given by me. Uh, Normally I don't do that but when I did this for Tafsir Bhai, because he said like, there are people, who need assistance from us. So absolutely, I can give you this, that if you start learning and provide me your weekly progress, we can have a monthly session or a bi-weekly session with all the group members, where you guys are, what, any questions, how is the learning process going? Let's start working on your resume. Like, like Sister Anchal Jane, I can help her in developing her resume right now, right? And say, okay, these are the things that you have to do. These are the projects I'm going to give it to you. And then you can start applying for interviews in the next 3-6 months. You'll be ready, so on and so forth, right? Again, Mauladi, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And the Galaxy S10, I don't even know. Muskan S and iPhone. These are the names I can see, online. Accept my sincere apologies if I'm, pronouncing it any incorrectly. But yes, I will personally assist you. But you have to show progress. If you don't show progress, then it's very difficult to continue that relationship, right? So go ahead if you have any questions, and I'm here for the next 15 minutes to answer those questions.
Yeah, I have some questions. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
You can raise hand,
Yeah.
and we can select you, and that will be easier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Angel, you can ask questions.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Some questions like, what is the mode means? When will the classes will be? Means how will you organize all the classes and timings? I
The
want to
classes
know
are all
about this.
recorded. The quizzes are
Okay.
all set. The assignments are all provided. You have to go
Okay.
through that. You can ask questions, for every lecture down beneath. You can participate with the community. The mode of medium, and when people communicate is, sometimes they have these communities where they communicate in their own languages. Like if they want to communicate in Urdu or Hindi, they will just type in things in Roman, English as well.
So okay, so these are the recorded classes, are they
Yes,
not that okay? So you
they're
can
not
take it
live.
anytime. Okay.
If I have to get these guys from Stanford and Oxford to give you live classes, then, then,
It will not
then
be
I won't be
possible.
able to do
I
that.
can.
No, it's not
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, I can understand that. Okay. So, will you give some certification after completing this?
It's a good question. We do
Yeah.
certificate of completion, right?
Okay.
Which is as good as any other institute right now in Canada, right? But we are going through the ISO 17024 certification process. We have
Okay.
completed our paperwork, but we are short of some finances that we are, basically summing up right now. Once we
Okay.
have that, that is the most prestigious certification in the world. There
Yeah.
are no institutes in Canada which are ISO 17024 accredited. What that means is, if you search online, is that all the top universities like Stanford, Harvard, MIT,
Yeah.
they are ISO 17024 accredited. Their programs are accredited. So we are going through that accreditation right now. In principle, we have completed all the documentation requirements and everything, but there's a huge cost of audit, which is like around $250,000 US dollars. It's a significant amount. And we are just
Yeah.
waiting for enough students so that we can go in. We have the funds, but we don't want to go in right now uh, until we have the big enough mass. Like 300,000 students are not
Yeah.
enough, right? We need bigger number.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand. And is there any specific age who can join this, or anyone can join this course?
There are no
Just
age barriers. There are no age barriers. We have people. I have people who are 15 years old studying with us, till people who are 50 years old studying with us. So there are no age barriers, right?
okay.
These courses. We have a school as well, which is separate, which is where we cover GCSE and IGCSE, which is like Cambridge University,
Yeah.
9, 10, 11, 12, something that we teach.
Yeah.
And that's a much more comprehensive program for the youth. That's different. I mean, this platform has different parts. The part that I'm talking to you about is professional courses in the emerging technologies, but then there are so many other things going on as well.
So what is the mode means? Is there any, how will this online means, is there some platform through
We
which
have a
these,
platform. Yes, we have a platform where you will where you will log online. You will be provided a username and password. You go
yeah,
into that portal. You start watching and following your progress. All the notes, videos are provided over there, but you can't
okay,
download the videos. You can watch them, but you can
okay,
download the notes. You can attempt the quizzes. You can participate in discussions. You can ask questions, so on and so forth.
okay. And yeah, okay, that's it for me.
iPhone is
Thank you so
good.
much.
You're welcome. I don't know
If
the name,
anything
so
comes up, I will ask you. Yeah.
absolutely yes. So I'm just
Thank you
going to
so
call
much.
you with the screen name iPhone. You're raising your hand. Please go ahead. You have to unmute yourself.
Is it for me?
Yes.
That's
My
the
name
only
is
Clear?
iPhone I
Yasser.
see.
Okay, my name is Yasser. I'm from Calgary. So actually, Anchal asked most of my questions already. So I just want to add, like we are all applying as a group from CPSG. So it's my opinion as well, and it's my wish as well. So if we can study together, like in a group, like we can, like it's really hard to follow up with the recorded programs because after some time you lose your interest because you don't ask question right away and such kind of stuff. So I think it's a good platform. Like we can make a group by ourselves, and we can study together. We can do our assignments together, so we can create a classroom kind of environment while having recorded lectures even.
You can certainly do that. And one of the things I can give it to you is like I can participate. You can create a group. The group already exists on WhatsApp. You can
Yeah.
ask questions over there. And normally I don't have the time to participate, but for this case, I will participate
Yeah.
wherever
You know
applicable
what? Like
and provide you
I
the
was
answers.
I was really shaky when I was joining because uh following alone all this kind of stuff. So when they made a group, that was the first click in my mind that if we have like 4, 5, 6 participants, and we can study
Let me give
together,
you
we
some
can push
perspective.
ourselves
Let me,
together.
let me give you some perspective. All of you, again, I'm a very like what I am is what you see, right? So I'm going to tell you something. In Islam, there is no such thing as luck, right?
Yep.
You establish your own destiny yourself, right? But one of the things I'm going to tell you is just like you have that. You are very fortunate to be here, right? In the West, living over here. So you have to appreciate that fact and be thankful that you're living here. So you have more opportunities. So if you study a little bit, like 1 hour a day, in 6 to 9 months' time, 1 hour a day with consistency, in 6 to 9 months' time, you will be employable. That is something I can guarantee, provided you
I
pass
just
the
say
exam. But those people who are like in Pakistan or India or Bangladesh or in African countries, you know how much time they study to work hard so that they can be here. You can't even imagine.
I know. I
You
know.
can't even imagine.
You're
So
absolutely
what
right.
I'm telling you guys is, we should be thankful and fortunate enough that you already have, an I would say an added advantage right now because you're already sitting in the market, right?
Exactly.
So that's one of the biggest thing that you have on your side, which is the location. That is
Exactly.
already, already overcome. I have a student here who came as a Fulbright scholar. You know what Fulbright scholars means? In the US, they provide these top universities. They provide basically, full scholarships to students who can really, show a good academic record. This student, he hails from a tribal areas in Pakistan. Yes, there are tribal areas in Pakistan, right? I'm from one of them, by the way. I came from a tribal area myself. So a tribal area means like you will see people living in mountains, right? Uh, Brandishing guns and stuff like that, right? So, but he worked hard. He worked really,
I've been
really
to there
hard,
as well.
right? And mashallah, right now, this person is in Canada right now, and he completed his education from, his name is Ahmad Ali Khan. He completed his education from the States, right, from upstate New York. And right now he's here. and he was applying for jobs. He couldn't find anything. He said, what is the disconnect? I'm a Fulbright scholar in engineering, in electrical engineering. Why can't I find anything? So he came to me. So I said, the problem is that yes, you did, but you have an academic background. You have no experience. And even if you had the experience, what you studied or what you did is long gone, right? So you have to upgrade yourself, right? So you have to study all of these courses. After 3 months, he's now studying at Mercedes, right? At Benz. So working in cybersecurity. So all I'm asking you guys is you have to work hard. This guy was studying 4 hours, 5 hours a day. I said, don't look for jobs. Forget about it. Start studying and talk to me and give me your progress every week, and show me your progress. This is what you have done, right? And then create a job account. I'm going to work on your resume. I worked on his resume because that's a good success story. I said, okay, let me show it to you how the resume is built over here. So I made up his resume. And then I said, okay, put all of these courses that you are about to complete. He completed those courses. Then I said, now you can start applying for all of these jobs. So I even helped him, okay, select these jobs, type in this keyword, these jobs comes in, apply for this job, right? Go ahead and apply for the job and provide me the feedback. He started applying, he started having interviews, now he's on a job. So what I'm telling you, you have to work hard. There are no shortcuts. If you're looking for something and I can't work and I'm shaky and this and that, then I can tell you right now, wherever you are, in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you'll still be studying at the same place. So you have to come out of your comfort zone. That's what I'm going to tell you. Yes, Kanis Tahir, I can see your name. People have started changing the name. Now I'm seeing some new real names other than iPhones and stuff.
Yes. Assalamualaikum. I'm from Calgary and I have 2 questions. So the first question is, like, in our home, we have just a regular configuration computers. Will it be compatible with this online learning, or either we have to upgrade our machines?
No, you don't have to. What is the minimum what is the RAM on the PC?
16 GB, I believe. Yeah.
16 GB.
Yeah.
Do you play games on it or what? No, that's more than enough. 16 GB is something that, if I give you like a USB and put a Linux on it, you can just plug it in and boot your computer without even disrupting your Windows. If you're running, I'm sure you're running on Windows, right? So you use Windows over there, and then you will have all the tools pre-installed over there. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to buy any computers with 32 gig of RAM or 64 gig of RAM or anything like that, right? No, there's no need. As long as you have a computer which has minimum 4 gig of RAM, right? And and basically like a 64-bit processor. There are no 32-bit processors anymore. Most of the processors are 64-bit. If you go to My Computers and search the properties, click on left click and check the properties, you will see it will say 64-bit architecture or something like that. You are set. To compensate all of those things, because in the in the poor countries in the world, people are still using 32-bit computers. In the West, that's not the case.
Okay.
So what we did was we created a cloud platform, which is going to be released on 31st of July, where if you have a browser and you have a USB, you can boot up the USB as 32-bit USB, plug it in, as long as you have minimum 2 GB of RAM, which is the minimum. Well, not the minimum. The minimum for Linux is 512 MB, or even if you have 100 MB, you can still run it, right? It will still run it fine, right? Because most of the work you'll be doing on command line, on the CLI, right? Just like the text screen, as you see on the if you watch some of these movies where they show like the hacker is working, right? So that's the kind of things you'll be working on right now. So if you have that, you can work on all of those things.
Thank you so much. And the last question is there will there be any opportunity for internship sort of thing? Because to be honest, I am just new into this thing. I have a medical background, but I am very motivated to learn all of those stuff because my husband is a system engineer and I know. So he's going to help me in the house as well.
If your husband is a system engineer, ask him to study with you as well, right? One of the biggest employer in Calgary, I believe, is Great West Life, right? Great West Life or something. Can't remember, right? So yes, you can, basically work. Uh, I mean, if you both work together, it'll be much faster for both of you guys to proceed, and that is just going to help you both to reinforce all the concepts. I have some people who are studying as couples, right? So husband and wife both are working hard, right? So absolutely, you can do it together.
And yeah, so the question is still there for the opportunity of like internship.
Oh yes, the internship.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have opened up our own consulting company, a Nafi Consulting. So yes, we can provide you opportunities, but you have to prove first and pass one of the exams.
Okay.
Pass the
Okay.
exam, then yes, we will provide you real hands-on experience, something that we are providing to many of the students. But first, they have to meet that minimum criteria of passing the exam first. But we will give you some real projects where you can shadow as just like a fly on the wall,
Yeah.
So you won't be able to work with the customer directly,
I
but
understand.
you're sitting with us in the assignments where we're writing, we will give it to you. You can read it, review it, stuff like that. You have to sign an NDA. You have to go through all the process because in cybersecurity, there's a lot of sensitive information being exchanged, so on and so forth.
That's true.
You have to do that. Yeah, there's a lot of proprietary information in there, right? So you have to make sure that you do that. You have to go through a police check. It's a requirement. We want to make sure like there are no criminal convictions or anything like that, because that's something in cybersecurity we are obliged to do because of the compliance requirements, right? So if you do that, then yes, go through all of those processes. We will do that once. By the way, when you go into the industry to work, like at a bank or a financial institutes, you have to go through the same checks.
Yes, I know. I have it. Yes,
If
yes.
someone has, credit issues or something like that, we can disregard that. But you need to have a clean record. That's the key.
That's true. And
No
when
criminal
can we
convictions.
expect to start this course, like this online learning? What is the exact starting date?
You can start anytime.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, CPGS, I mean, they will let you know when they will provide
Okay, the next
access of the
person after Kanis Tahira, Malidi, how do you pronounce it? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Hello, good morning.
Hi. It's not
My
morning
name
over
is
here.
Molly.
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Molly. I am from Haiti.
Can
I
you
speak
please speak a bit, just a little bit, because the voice is very bleak.
Okay, sorry about that. Do you hear me now?
Yes, just a bit better. Yes.
Okay. I said my name is Molly, and I am from Haiti. I speak French. My question is, I would like to know, like, if I just have a basic computer skills, if it is gonna be easy for me to take the course.
If
Could
you
you
know
elaborate?
how to sit on the Zoom and operate Facebook, then you're ready. That's the basic criteria, right? So I'm assuming you do use Facebook, right?
Yes.
And I'm assuming that you do use WhatsApp.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that you do use, now I'm not assuming anymore. Now I'm pretty sure that you also do, video chats and Zoom calls, like Facebook, FaceTime, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Then you're ready. That's it. That's the basic requirement you need to have. Now, the rest of the stuff you will learn as you go ahead.
Okay. The other question I have, I just want, because I'm not Muslim, I don't know if it is only for Muslim or I don't know.
No, as I said, no. As I said, we have people from all denominations in the world. We have people who are Sikh. We are people, not the Sikh means like SIKH, like the ones who wear turbans. We are people who are Indians. We are people who are from, French, from like predominantly from, from Morocco and Aljazair and stuff like that, right? So it all depends. No, we started the platform to focus on the needy people, right? But
Okay.
what we saw was just like the need is very high in Africa, especially, you know. So then we
Yes.
said, okay, so we need to focus on that. So we started teaching in French, right? But the courses are dubbed basically from English to French or from Urdu to French. So you will see examples when I start, I say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, right? I say in the name of Allah, right, to begin with and stuff like that. But the examples and stuff, you know, those are daily examples, daily life examples. You will be able to understand and you will be able to comprehend. The key focus is to give you the concept. You know, for example, you're Christian, right?
Yes.
So there's a concept known as confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So confidentiality in cybersecurity, right? Confidentiality means that when you talk to, you know, to your God, right, to your Lord, it's confidential between you and Him,
Yeah.
right? So in cybersecurity, the data needs to be confidential between the person and the data custodian who keeps the data, right? So for example, this is how I teach. Then I will go, okay, when you go to the bank is not going to show the bank balance of Melody, say this is the bank balance of Melody, except it will only show it to you, not to iPhone or Anchal or S or Tafsir or me. That's confidentiality, right? That's what is being practiced within cybersecurity. The data needs to be confidential. Then the concept is integrity, right? Integrity means like, I'm going to teach you like this, that, you know, in Islam, when you do some, you know, the Quran is like this. The Quran, our holy book, it hasn't been changed the day that it was revealed. It's the same book. It's the same book. It never changed, right? That's the integrity. There is no version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, whatever the case is. So that's how I teach. And then I will say, okay, in the same way, in a bank, when you go to a bank, right, and you have $10,000. So your information is there with integrity. If someone comes from outside, compromises the system, and deletes 10, what happens to your $10,000? It becomes $1,000. Integrity is lost, right? So
Yes.
in cybersecurity, integrity needs to be there, right? That's the second most important principle in cybersecurity. The third thing I'm going to teach you is availability, right? Availability means, I'm going to give you an example. Whenever you want to talk to your Lord, He's always there. He's available. You just raise your hands and say, you know, I want this, please help me or guide me, right?
Yes.
In the same way, then I will say, when you go to the bank and you have to withdraw your funds, they have to be available to you. That is your information. You can take out statements, you can take out money, that needs to be available. So now you know confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and you will remember it for the rest of your life. Because if someone says, what is confidentiality in cybersecurity? You can say, well, what happens between you and your Lord stays confidential. So what my information is with the bank needs to be confidential. It should not be disclosed to anyone else except me, right? What is integrity? Whatever the bank is keeping, they have to ensure that that information is, you know, integrity is not compromised, right? It's not breached or it's not hacked into. That's integrity. What is availability? My information, my access to funds or all that information is always available to me, not to anyone else. The intended recipient is me, myself. So now you know these three key principles. And then there are some other principles as well, non-repudiation and stuff like that. But that's how we teach. We give examples from daily lives, because this way people can understand and can remember. That's the mode of teaching for myself. But there are other teachers who teach in a different manner, who teach like in the same Western manner. But for me, that's how I've been teaching all my life, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a Muslim or a non-Muslim, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is just like you can understand and relate to these daily concepts. Even if you're an atheist, that's not going to be a problem, right? So, by the way, I do give some examples of atheism as well, right? Like what do they believe and stuff like that. So, but the point is, that's the point. You know, the key concept is when you go to a bank or a financial institute, they will ask you, what are the controls we need to deploy to keep information confidential? Then you need to understand and you need to communicate, well, you need to do encryption, tokenization. These are the concepts. Again, you have to learn these concepts, all those kind of things later on in the course. So as you proceed, you will keep on learning new concepts. You keep on learning, and that is available in French, by the way. So for you,
Yes, thank you.
one of the key courses available in French, you can start learning that right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Other courses will be coming later on, like programming in Linux and Python. But I believe that even if you pass your CI, what is your background? What did you do?
Me?
Yes.
I am working with special need kids. I am a teacher's assistant.
So you're a teacher assistant, right? So you can learn all of these concepts and you can go into an organization with this new skill set and say, I can become an HR representative in communicating all this information that I've learned about cybersecurity and how it should be implemented organization-wide. Because handling kids is the same as handling pretty much the adults, right? Right? In the organization, people don't want to listen to you. You tell them something different and they will do something different, right? You tell them something, they do something entirely different. So information, communication, how to portray this information to the people, to the banks, to the financial institutes, and stuff like that. You have to go through that process, Maladi, in order for you to learn all of those things. And once you go through that, then you will be prepared to go further in the studies and basically be successful. But we will give you all the real experience you need to go into compliance, risk and compliance and governance. That's the key area for you, in my view, to go into.
Now, I think the question has been questioned before, but I still want to be clear about it. Like when you study online, you don't have any teacher in front of you to ask question. How it's
Well, you
gonna
can ask questions under the video and we will respond back to you in 3 working days. That's something that we do provide.
awesome.
Yes, yes.
And then
So it's not
the
something that
last,
you have the videos and you can't ask questions. No, you can ask questions. Absolutely.
okay.
So we
Oh,
will
okay.
respond back to you, but it has to be a 3 working day cycle.
Okay, thank you so much. The last question is about, I heard something about credit. You said before, maybe it was a question from someone else about credit.
Well, like about credit, you're like credit rating or something?
Your line of credit, what is it?
No, it was not that. So basically, in order for you to work in cybersecurity, you need to have no criminal convictions because you will be dealing with sensitive data.
It's like a police check.
You have to go through a police check.
I do have it, yeah.
Yeah, so if that is, like speeding tickets don't count. Like if you have any active, infringement of something or some kind of, active penalty, which is like very grave and like, so that is something that you get into trouble. Organizations will have second thoughts in terms of hiring a person who has some felonies on his record, right? I'm assuming that all the people, I'm not assuming, I'm sure that all the people here, they don't have any penalties like, felonies or something like that, right? Having a bad credit is not a felony. No. Having not a line of credit is not a felony in this country, right? That's against the laws, some of the laws that are built here, right? But if you have a felony, like a criminal conviction, where you have been sentenced to prison or something like that, then these companies will be very hesitant to hiring that person.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think we should have now the final word from the CPSG representative over here.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
My name
assalam.
is Asmaira Javed and I'm CPSG. I'm secretary of Muscat CPSG. And we are very happy to collaborate with you for this program. I heard everything you described. So we will for sure let our clients know about your programs and everything. I have one question. You guys are accepting all kinds of people, like if their status in Canada is refugee, if they are refugee claimant or peer on PR or
It doesn't
citizen.
matter to us, right?
Oh, that's really
We
great.
have people from refugee status. We have people who are even illegal here, but we don't, we don't track people. We don't do that. No.
Oh, that's really great. And
Right?
they
So
all will
because
get
that's
a
against,
certification.
this is, there are a couple of things that, we have to understand the ethics of Islam.
Okay.
Islam doesn't allow us to, peek into other people's life. No, we don't do that. If they're refugees or if they are illegals here who doesn't have a status, illegal is a very bad word. I shouldn't say that. It is like
Yeah.
they don't have any status over here because, like, the world is going through a very bad time right now. And it has been like this for a long time, in my view. There's a lot of income inequality within the societies, even the countries where we come from, right? So if you look at Asia and Africa and Middle East, there's a lot of income inequality, right? So,
Right.
our focus is on the lower class, which is, by the way, 98% of the population of these countries. The upper 2% comes in the upper echelons of the society. We are not bothered about them, right?
Right.
So no. So there are people from all denominations, as I said. There are people. I teach in a very different manner, right? Because after going to all the top universities, now I'm becoming a, as you can say, a sheikh or an imam, like or you call it like in Christianity terms, like a preacher, right? I do that. I
Okay.
don't preach openly. No, I don't go to door to preach. No, you know, long ago I used to do that, but now I don't have the time. I have so many other things to do, so on and so forth. But no, so there are people from all denominations, from all, people are doing Uber, people are doing, a person who came to my house, a butcher. This is a very interesting story. I went to a butcher shop to buy some meat, and he recognized me. He said, "I've seen you on television. You teach and so on and so forth." I said, "Yes." So he said, "I want to do this, but I have no status." I said, "Well, you can do it. Go ahead, do it." Right? So, but he said, uh, how should I study, so on and so forth. So while I was standing, I taught him, do this, and start giving me the progress. This guy, he's a master's in computer science, but he
Okay.
can't, he's going through a very rough time in his life. He's working at a butcher shop. Can you imagine? And he was back home, he was in his country, he was teaching as an associate professor. So I told him, like, what is happening? He said, my case is going through, it will take some time, etc., etc. I said, look, keep on working hard, you will go through it. But working as a hacker, you can learn all of these things in 9 months' time, and you can earn a better living. Yes, there is nothing harm in being a butcher. No, absolutely not. You're living, a sustainable income. There's nothing. You're not begging in front of anyone, right? You're working. It's fine. Please keep on doing that. But study this as well so that you can improve your lifestyle and be better. So that's what I told him, and he's working hard. And inshallah, his success story will soon come. You know. So, but this is this first month who has completed his studies. He's keep on. I said, like, in the 5 months' time, you'll be ready to apply for jobs. And by that time, you can show to the government you studied all of those things. And even if the case goes south, you can still work here wherever you are and work online as a bug bounty hunter. You don't have to display yourself or something like that, right? So we don't discriminate on all of and any of these grounds. In Islam, it doesn't allow us to discriminate on on age, on religion, on sect. We don't do. It's not allowed in Islam.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear that because we have lots of clients who wants to improve their skill, and sometimes they cannot get admission here. So this is a really good opportunity for us as well. Thank you so much.
Well, Okay,
I
Tafsir
think
bhai, it's been good questions. Thank you all for your time. I have to go. And if you still have any follow-up questions, you can absolutely ask me. This session has been recorded. I will share with you a recorded session, and then you all can follow it, inshallah. We will put it online as well. And if anyone has any questions, any follow-up questions, they can send it to Tafsir bhai, and Brother Tafsir will send it over to me, and I will, inshallah, respond in a timely manner. Okay? Jazakallah khair.
thank
Everyone,
you.
thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu.